know this is Pawn, Drunk, Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moo, shot himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, mi gente. Ladies and gentlemen, there's still people out there that hate on Canelo Alvarez, trying to justify his status as #1 pound for pound dude in the sport of boxing, trying to devalue and discredit his resume, trying to pinpoint, but he fought, he fought Jacob, he fought Triple G, he fought Mir Khan, and he's light, and he's fighting Yirjum, and who the fuck is Yirjum, and why he gotta fight all these guys, and why he can't fight the fighter that I want to fight, why he can't fight the slick fighter and stuff like that, begging. Canelo Alvarez is all shitty, right? For all these pookies, porque esta gente está en crack, está fumando el crack de pinga, el crack de 1986, my friend. Hey, chaka, ladies and gentlemen, the people that do hate on Canelo Alvarez and try to justify every single thing about his career from resume to looks, they didn't want to consider him a Mexican. They'd be like, he's from Irish. Yeah, diablo, man. They'll find anything, any little thing, anything. Because they hate in their heart. They just can't see a man succeed and like the way that Canelo Alvarez has succeeded in the sport of boxing and is the cash cow of the sport of boxing, It just kills you. It just kills you, These I don't want to know they beings. I don't want to call them human beings porque son animales, hediondo, mal paridos son esta gente, maldito palomazo, Yo. Yeah, we gotta take their boxing card away, And by taking their boxing card away, we gotta bring El Chaka. They gotta be fuera del boxing, of the YTBC especially as well. Y fuera. Mira estos palomos, esos mamacuevos, esos malparidos, se van de aquí. Y fuera. Si tú sabes el chacán from Sábado Gigante, ya tú sabes. You don't know the Spanish show. I'm very, very sorry. You can Google it, my friend, if you want. And then you understand what I'm trying to say. Because, people going to be like, yo, why you don't speak English, though? Why I can't understand you, though? Hey, Google Translate, motherfucker. Hey, Google Translate. Hey, ain't no crazy, right, my friend? Hey, you want to know who Chaka? El Chaka, he very, very good. Everybody know El Chaka. Ladies and gentlemen, look. Canelo Alvarez, and that's what I mean. Like, these dudes are the same people that hate on Canelo Alvarez. They hate on Canelo Alvarez so much, but yet beg for Canelo Alvarez's attention. Please, Canelo Alvarez, fight my fighter that I love. Fight him. Fight the fighter. Why you don't give attention to my favorite fighter? I mean, he's slick. He was mandatory. Come on, Canelo Alvarez, you shitty bastard. But why? If he's so shitty, if you're going to even put him on the rank, if you ain't even going to put him on the rank, there's people out there that won't even put him on the pound for pound ranking, right? They justify his resume, so he must not be that good. He's not ranked. So why would you want the prospective fighter that you want him to fight? Let's say, for example, if you're a Charlo fan, which I respect, Jamal Charlo is a great and one of the best middleweight in the sport of boxing. And yes, Jamal Charlo, deserved. He was in position to get the Canelo fight. At the end of the day, are we shaming him because Canelo Alvarez went and gotten other opponents and have jumped weight classes, had obtained a 4th division world champion in his status? And matter of fact, Canelo Alvarez is actually younger than these guys in the middleweight division. He's younger than Boo Boo. He's younger than Triple G, because I know people still want to see the Triple G fight, the trilogy. I don't want to see it. Triple G is going to be 39 years old. If Canelo beats Triple G, then you're going to be like, oh, but he beat a 39 years old, though. Come on, man. At the end of the day, Canelo Alvarez retired right now. What you gonna do? What y'all gonna do? What you gonna beg for? At the end of the day, people out there, his fan, the fans of these fighters that are begging for Canelo Alvarez, in which I believe you should be calling for that fight. I'm not saying you should be calling for that fight, but at the same time, you're not respecting Canelo Alvarez, but yet begging for the fight as a fan. You're begging for it, but he ain't shit. He's not ranking you pound for pound. He's a cheater. If he's all of this, why would you? Matter of fact, if he's all of that, you should just want him out the sport. You should even want your favorite fighter to fight him. Because if Canelo Alvarez beats your fighter, you're going to find all these damn excuses of why Canelo Alvarez beat. Just like the same excuse that they found in Oscar Valdez. After Oscar Valdez just beat Miguel Burchett, they're like, oh, he was working with Canelo Alvarez. What is he eating the Canelo meat and stuff like that? What is it, Eddie Reynoso? It's something about that camp. It's something about that gym. The narrative pushers. Y'all already know, man. Beta males. And for the people out there, just get away from the narrative plantation. Please, 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 please. You're losing your mind. They're only capitalizing off your emotions, okay? They know the business model, divide and conquer. Anyway, Canelo Alvarez, yes, he's fighting Yirju. Are we all happy about this fight? It's not about being happy or sad. Are we intrigued about the fight? No. We feel like Canelo Alvarez is going to go out there and win. But at the end of the day, Canelo Alvarez has proven to me, and his accomplishment speaks for itself, that Canelo Alvarez will retire right now. He goes straight to the Hall of Fame. I'm not here to pressure Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, you got to do this right now. He's already proven. He's highly accomplished to the point where I just said he could retire right now and he's a walking Hall of Famer. Now, I've stated this before in the middleweight division, which is one of the richest divisions in the sport of boxing, one of the most prestigious in the sport of boxing. I would like to see Boo Boo Andrade versus Jamal Charlo, a unification bout, and that's that fight is probably a fight that's been marinated longer than any other fight in boxing. It's been marinated longer than Fury and Joshua. It's been marinated longer than Spence and Bud. It's been marinating longer than any other fight right now. So that's the fight that I want to see. But there's people out there, of course, you know, that some people out there don't want the same nationality to face the same race. And of course, I say that Canelo Alvarez, people are going to be like, yo, but Canelo Alvarez said he don't want to fight no Mexican fighters and stuff like that. Like I said again, I'm not in the business of pressuring Canelo Alvarez because he's done things that I wish the other guys could go at least halfway and match what Canelo Alvarez has done in the sport of boxing. Him still being younger than most of these guys that you want him to fight. In 168, Billy Joe Saunders. Do I want Billy Joe Saunders? No, I really wanted Demetrius Andrade. I wanted Boo Boo Andrade to get his chance. Yeah, I want Boo Boo Andrade to get his chance. I wanted to see an undisputed bout in the middleweight division and the Golden Boy promotions. You already know they filed the extension or whatever in the IBF too late, and Canelo Alvarez got stripped. You know, I wanted to see that fight. But they picked himself right back up. He went to fight the likes of Sergey Kovalev, jumped another division. And Sergey Kovalev may very much well be probably a future Hall of Famer himself, getting a little in trouble. Sergey Kovalev, he kind of, going into a what is it? The synthetic testosterone or something like that. He got to fix that up. But Canelo Alvarez has been very seasoned. He has gotten better. Canelo Alvarez is pound for pound number one. If you hate him so much, stop asking for the fight. You should be praying and you should be protesting his fight and tell everybody, the powers that be in the sport of boxing, to kick him out the sport. Stop being a bunch of beta males, y'all. Stop being little bitches out there, man. Please, excuse my language. Damn it, it's a Christian show. I'm sorry. But for real, bro, get it together, y'all. Get it together. I mean, look, I'm not a huge Canelo Alvarez fan, but I know that he's the man. Just like I'm not a huge LeBron James fan, but I know that he's the man. I wasn't a huge Michael Jordan fan. I was a goddamn Knicks fan. And you know, shit, you already know the Knicks fans, my heart been broken 1,000 times. I hated Michael Jordan, but I knew that he was the man. And so you don't have to be a fan of Canelo Alvarez to acknowledge that that motherfucker is the man. And yes, he is the man because you're begging. But you know what? I don't want Charlo, and I don't want Demetrius Andrade, and I don't want these other young fighters that David Benavidez. I don't want them to be a charity case for Canelo Alvarez. I want them to bring some legacy in the table. So by the time they go into the negotiation table, Canelo Alvarez see that table and be like, you know what? I want that. I want that. Thus, me wanting Charlo to unify with Demetrius Andrade to unify with Charlo. Or Triple G. Why Triple G? Why nobody talking about Triple G? Triple G just going flying on the radar. He could pick whatever opponents. I think in the middleweight division, Triple G has gotten a pass. And we need to speak on that more so. Triple G has gotten a pass after getting that money from the zone. He has gotten a pass. Y'all should be pumping that. But the hatred of Canelo Alvarez is so much ingrained into your soul, y'all don't even want to look at other things. At the end of the day, like I said, Canelo Alvarez could retire right now. He's a future walking Hall of Famer, y'all. These other people got to build their legacy as well, at least halfway. Match it. If you're going to match it, bring something to the table. Canelo Alvarez, look at them and be like, you know what? I want that. You know what? Jamel Charlo, his accomplishments grants him to be the probably the guy that could bring more to the table than anybody else. I know he's 154, and of course, Canelo Alvarez is not going to go to 154. But accomplishment-wise, Jamel Charlo probably is the guy that probably deserves a Canelo fight more than anybody else. Shout out to Jamel Charlo. That's one win away from undisputed versus Brian Castaño, and that was going to be a good fight, y'all. That's going to be a good fight. It's not going to be easy. See, I'd rather talk about Jamel Charlo and Canelo Alvarez for all that matters. Not even Jamal. I'd rather talk about Jamel. At the end of the day, man, Canelo Alvarez is going to fight Eardrum. Hopefully probably beats him. You never know, it's boxing. Then go to May. Then unify. Then he's trying to become undisputed in September. Why you just can't respect the dude trying to be undisputed? I know y'all going to be like, but in the middleweight division, he said he wanted to be undisputed. Hey, in the end of the day, like I said, he could retire right now and be a Hall of Famer. What about everybody else? They got to build their own legacy. If you narrative pushes out there and content creators, how about if you want to push something, push guys to establish that type of legacy. They do not need Canelo Alvarez. This is why I respect the likes of the career. That's why I respect the careers of Earl Spitz. You don't need the cash cow. You build on your own lane. This is why I love the Jamel Charlo career. You do not need a cash cow to build your own legacy. You don't need the cash cow. You don't need that legendary name. You are marking your own legacy. And these guys in the middleweight division, like Boo Boo and Charlo, of course, and Boo Boo been calling everybody out, and I believe that he's the most avoided fighter, probably in the sport of boxing, and probably in this era, in my opinion, Boo Boo Andre. I've said it times and times again, a lot of people disagree with me, but I believe that he's probably the most avoided fighter of this era. He is the Paul Williams, in my opinion. But please, right now, if Canelo Alvarez give the guys that you think should get this fight, in which they in position to probably get the fight, but legacy-wise, it's not enticing Canelo Alvarez. What about Eardrum? Let him do what he wants to do. Anybody don't have to fight, man, massive fight after hard fight after hard fight, and maybe these guys, it's not even a hard fight for Canelo Alvarez. I do believe the guy that's gonna probably is the hardest puzzle for Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion, is Demetrius Andre. The height, the southpaw could switch up, the jab, the power punching, and he probably got the best pedigree from 154 to 168. In my opinion, the most dangerous man could be David Benavidez. That's my opinion. All these are good fights. Yet at the end of the day, I'd rather them build their legacy. Stop waiting on Canelo. And y'all stop pushing on begging for Canelo, but yeah, hate on Canelo at the same time. That's like me, you hating on me, but asking me for something. Mira, coñazo, why you fucking asking for something and you hate me so much? Shut the hell up. At the end of the day, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, get my updated videos. I love y'all. God bless, and on to the next.